Hey, folks, this is Dennis Boren, a criminal defense attorney and former felony prosecutor. I have a special guest today named Perry Gilmore, and I met him as he was a senior police officer in the management administration of the police department and a local entity around here. And he has a lot of experience in the subject I want to talk about today, and that is supervising police officers and community relations, which is really a hot topic. It's a topic that Perry can really speak to, having done what he's done. So Perry, share some wisdom with us.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here today. I guess really most of my police career was in supervision as a field supervisor or a manager or something like that. And police work is kind of interesting. In a lot of jobs, the job is very regimented, repetitive. Think of assembly line or something like that, and you have a certain way to do something. Police work is done out in the field, and so it's not in an office or factory environment. It's usually help is far away. If you want to talk to a supervisor, we have radios and things like that. But the point is, many of the decisions, critical decisions, should I search someone, should I arrest someone, should I use force against someone, are decisions that have to be immediately made and usually can't be made with the help of a supervisor or consulting with other senior managers who may want some input with that.
Well, I guess that speaks to the training being of the utmost importance and retraining and ongoing training.
Well, it is, and that is the key. Is unlike some occupation where you might hire someone and they're out doing the job that day or the next day. In police work, you really try to train the officers where they know how the administration thinks, how we want things done, and obviously what the law says you can and can't do. Those technical things. And so today, because of state requirements and things like that, most departments they'll hire someone, put them on the payroll, and then they're being trained in a classroom for 6 months or so. Then they transition to field training, where now they're a sworn police officer and have police power, but every day they ride with a senior training officer who makes sure that they have understood the lessons that they learned in the classroom and can apply those in situations in the field. So for a police employee, pretty much the first year of their employment is in training. And so as an employer, you don't get a lot of work out of them. And that's a tremendous financial investment in that employee.
So if you find an officer that's lacking, it becomes apparent that they're not making good decisions, or their relationship with the community is not where it should be. What do you guys do?
Well, first, let's kind of backtrack. There's an extensive application process in police work. And so at times we have 95% of the applicants who originally expressed interest in becoming a police officer drop out for various reasons. They drop out. We deselect them during the background part. But when we have an officer that's not responding to training, you think about the time investment, financial investment we already have, we really try to salvage them. So we can try to retrain them. We can put them with another training officer. We can send them to specialized school. Uh, but we want to identify that weakness and strengthen that if we can. Now, having said all that, during the first year of employment for a police officer, it's not uncommon for 20% of that class who was hired to not be in law enforcement at the end of that year. Some kind of realize law enforcement's not for them, they drop out. Some we figure out law enforcement is not for them, and they're not, either they don't respond to training, or we just made a mistake in hiring them and are going to correct that by terminating their employment.
A lot of people right now are concerned about officers that have given signs of being abusive or being out of line, them just continuing to hang on, and that they're not dealt with sufficiently. And we only got like less than a minute left. If you can kind of talk about that real quick.
Yeah, one of the problems in police discipline is civil service law, and this is, I think, an unintended consequence of civil service. If the department administration wants to terminate an employee, of course we can, we'll tell them you're fired. But under civil service rules, they have a right to arbitration. And arbitration means middle ground, so that means they're probably going to retain their employment. They may be suspended for a significant amount of time, 1 month, 6 months, something like that. But in the end, they're going to get their job back. So it's very frustrating for police administration, because we really don't have the right to really terminate someone's employment that we think needs to be terminated.